The time has come. It's just too much already. I wanted to sit in the garden and enjoy myself. I walk away, the birds are all over, and the vegetables, they're getting so big. Who's going to eat that much? And I turn around, there is lettuce everywhere. Those containers I make, no bugs. And the hummingbirds, they're picking around my vegetable flowers. They're going through all my flowers around here. I just want a peaceful life. So I decided the other day, everything's being emptied. I'm getting rid of it. I can't do it anymore. Just I'm clearing everything out. I'm going to have it just empty and nothing else. And Gary goes and paints the kitchen. Maybe you'll do videos in the kitchen. No, I'm not. Get rid of the rainbow garden. Look at all the work I've got there. All those watermelons and everything growing in there, gone. And the tables on the deck, that too. I don't want them anymore. And as far as avocados, Gary, I go out there to look for avocados and I don't know where they're going, but I think your dogs are eating all the avocados that I normally collect. And then they go out the garden all the time. I'm looking. I can't find my shovels. I can't find my cutters. I don't know what's happening to them. And then I end up online looking for all these cute things. And I'm finding all these things and I'm buying for gardening. What do I need a bunch of cute things around here for? And the hummingbirds, all I do is do feeders from morning till night. You know what? I want to enjoy myself and maybe make some different craft work, like making fountains for the birds, but too many of them come at one time. All I want is one bird. I love making things out of all kinds of stuff I find, but I want to just sit on the deck and enjoy one hummingbird and have a peaceful moment. I quit. I am done with gardening and I'm going to keep it down to one hummingbird from now on. Oh, and you know what today is? It's April 1st. It's a garden tour day. April Fool's Day. So yes, it's April 1st. We're in spring and I am not giving up my garden. Hi everybody, it is Robbie from Southern California and we're going to take a zip around and I'll just tell you tips and tricks and different things that I will be doing because I've been working on my deck and doing other things. So I've kind of let the garden go. We've been in the 40s at night, 60s during the day. We get rain off and on when we don't even know we're going to get rain. So let's do a quick walk around today because I am now building my deck garden up along with the garden outside. Here are the tables. These bulbs were probably a failure unless it's still too cold. Some of them came up, some of them didn't. I'm going to give them another couple weeks, and when I get out here, I will use that soil to grow something else. That's the bulbs I got from the 99-cent store that time. So they were from Holland. They were sitting a long time, and, well, I also had them sitting too long, so they didn't quite work out. The turmeric is great. I'm going through it, and I'm slowly refreshing all this. And when they come here, they're all ready to grow. I don't have to do anything, and I don't want them to get too wet and cold, but at least when it rains, it hasn't been, heavy rain. So I think they'll be okay, and I'm getting this all together. Look at this. They're starting to just maybe form some of my fruit. I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully we got a lot of bees. But even if I got 30, 40, 50 fruit, I'd be happy. We had over 50 last year. This is a nectarine tree that grew in our yard from seed, and it was brought here. In other words, Gary dug it up and brought it over here. Look, yesterday I did this. This is celery. Let me show you where it is. This is my chair garden. I can't believe that it is over 5 years old. And you know what? To date, I only changed one tote out because the way the wind was coming up, now Gary's made a screen there and now the wind doesn't come up as bad. It would blow all the time on this one, and in the heat and the cold, it kind of didn't look good, so I just swapped it out. But I can't believe everything is perfect. 5 years, I'd be happy with 5 years, but who knows, we might get a whole lot more. Now, I haven't done anything in here. What you see is the way it has been. It's just all old stuff. I am going to leave the different sorrels. I've got red vein, I've got green. I'm going to leave that. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. I'm going to get in here and gut this like I did my deck. So when I'm ready, I will come back and show you. So all in all, this is that. But I did find in my chair garden celery. Remember I told you I was looking for green celery? I had brought in some red celery years ago and it contaminated it. In other words, all the cross-pollination made every celery on the property with red. Didn't have to be really red, but you'd see it and it tastes different. Well, I think it was last year I had one growing here and it disappeared, of course, died back. but it threw some seeds in the tote. So I got into the tote there. I dug them up the other day, and now I have 3 on my deck and 3 here. I am so excited. Look, new growth. And I've got an avocado tree. 1 pit grew all that, and I'm twisting it, and it's growing in a bucket. I'm going to use this for plant shade. So if I need something that's growing on the ground with a little shade, I'll just put the tree next to it. I have a carpenter bee that's following me around, the horsefly light. We haven't gotten to this yet, but we're just starting our weeds. As you can see, it's just starting to turn green, so soon, next month, Gary's going to be out here and we'll be pulling weeds all the time. I never got the tree I wanted for this, and I don't know if I'll do it this year or next year, but that is still giving me so much food. I have so much I can do with that, so I don't want to take it out. And then I'll step over here for a minute. These flowers came up probably in a wild seed mix I had. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Well, let's step back over here. We don't want to fall down the hill. I threw some of the seeds in here, and look, I have 2 more plants growing from those beautiful orange flowers. So I'll probably end up taking this out and leaving the flowers. I'm so happy. There's probably a lot of them that will grow in there, but because there's no insects in the bucket, that made it so it didn't get eaten. Not sure yet what I'll put in here as far as when spring comes, because I did watermelon last year. I only got 1. I might put other plants in here. We'll see when the time comes, because I will have to plant them in buckets since I have so many geraniums and the pomegranate. So now we're just going to walk, because as you can see, as we walk through, I haven't done too much. I'm putting seeds here and there, or I should say seedlings that I'm growing in the house. But with our nights still in the 40s, if you push it and plant too early, you could end up losing your plant. So I don't want to do that. I haven't picked my carrot yet. See, this is the celery, but even though it looks green, it is not. See the red? It's not a true red. It's cross-pollinated, but it's still good. And I don't want too much sow thistle to grow. I want the celery to grow. So I pull that out and just compost it back in place. I do have a carrot here, right there. And when I'm ready, I will get that out. This is a zucchini planted from seed, doing really well. Look at that. I'm very excited. So hopefully in the next month or so, I'll have zucchini. I will be planting more zucchini in that one, and probably here, and most likely here. I'm probably going to leave the tomatoes that came up as volunteers, because look, I have tomatoes. Look how beautiful. Why would I pull it out? It's happy. It's all full of tomatoes. So I'm going to leave those tomatoes. Oh my gosh. Looky here. This is quite big. I don't know if you can see that. Those are good sized tomatoes. So I'm going to leave that as well. Red vein sorrel. So as you can see, I'm keeping it very sparse. The chairs will have pots in between, and there'll be something like walking onions or sorrel. Very simple. I want it open so we don't get a lot of critters. Critters don't like it open. The squirrels, I mean, they may still come, but they don't have a whole lot of places to hide, because even if they get under there, you could have a hawk sitting up on top, and they can see it, and they know when they move out, something could get them. So right now, a lot of this will be changed later. If the tomatoes are doing good and I string them up, I'll leave those. But look at this. Look how big this is and how beautiful. Now this I'm keeping because it's red. Absolutely gorgeous. So we'll keep that. And then look at the tomatoes. Let me step back. Again, all volunteers, and I really do have good tomatoes to plant too. I don't know what they're going to do. I will work my way down all through here. And if I get here and I don't have tomatoes, then I will yank these out, refurbish the totes a little bit, and then I will get more tomatoes in here. But we'll see, because I have a lot of flowers now. And seeing clusters like that tells me that these are a type of cherry tomato. See, I've got a little bit coming up. There's another one. That is the bulbs. They're gladiolas, but only a few of them made it. So I kind of stuck them in there and didn't know where to put them. So I put them in there for now. This I can redo later. Look at this. So I've got beautiful onions coming up in here. Purple ones, white ones, yellow, whatever, all the onions. But look, I'm going to lose my garlic. It was either pulled the nasturtiums out that was growing in there, or sacrifice the garlic. So we'll see what happens. I might get some garlic still. I mean, they look pretty good, but I also use the greens. Remember, I told you, the green garlic tastes really good. Even tastes better sometimes than regular garlic. Oh, our friendly stink bug. You know, more onions. There was a shortage of them last year. We only saw a couple of them. And now I see here and there one or two. So I don't know what will be, but they don't bother me. And they hunt around the garden. They probably eat insects, those. Here, all has to be redone. So nothing here. Here, I've got an eggplant. I'll keep an eye on that. If it does good, I'll leave it. This sow thistle that the birds chew on is almost gone. So this will get composted soon. Milkweed, I will leave that. Look at that. This is why I have milkweed all over. That is milkweed seed. And it's kind of sticky. And so wherever it falls, and it probably attaches itself to birds and it gets moved around a lot. Let's just kind of do a walkthrough because I haven't even touched this. I don't mind weeds because I'm going to pull that out and I compost in place and make sure there's a good layer of soil on top. If I was really worried about the weeds, now I wouldn't do it to Bermuda grass, but this is okay. You could even compost it and put a piece of cardboard on top so it won't grow, and then pile in more soil and leaves and different things. But I don't have any problems with that type of grass, so I will compost that. Well, hopefully we'll get new growth. Yep, we've already got new growth on this one. That's the avocado tree I moved here. These are the last of the pots that I want out. Remember, everything from there all the way down is going to the pole, except the chairs. Let's look over here. I haven't done anything yet, so don't think I forgot about you. Still have my succulents. I want to do something with them. And this is where I've got my plants that I've been planting around. I've got tomatoes, the San Marzano. I've got another small fruited one. This is the, I thought it was the 100s. It is, sweet 100s. I still have my strawberries. This is, I took a walk. This is a different plant. It's a native plant that grows a kind of a horn-looking or trumpet-looking flower, and the hummingbirds like it. So I'm getting, that's propagated. That one made it. This one made it. This one made it. This one did not. See my rocks in there? It helps keep it damp. This is just soil. I still have to get this planted. Trying to keep it tarped because we've had rain. This will be the only thing here with plants. I think it looks really cute. So if I sit on the table at the table there and I'm doing something, I can look out and see that. But the rest of this up to the pole will be gone, and all of this will be gone. And the same thing here. I haven't done anything. There's nothing going on here. I want to keep the driveway open, and I think it will be a lot easier to take care of. Look at this without having a garden here. I've been moving it. My mustard that I had growing here has seeded itself, and the seeds are coming up now. So I've been moving it. Gary said he's been moving it, and then I've got this. I let the carrots go to seed. I've been pulling them out and planting them different places. I'm lucky the rabbits haven't eaten them all. Nothing here. All this will be going. I don't know if I'll try to save any of the purple cabbage because I can still grow this one. They can grow for a few years. You won't get a big head, but you could get little heads, which is perfect to chop up and add to a salad. I love raw cabbage. So we'll see when I get here. I haven't done anything, but I'll probably move this somewhere else. Gary's just been cleaning up. That's it. Let's go into the front yard. You gotta love geraniums. Why? Because they don't have to do a thing. Now, when I get in here, a lot of this stuff will be changed. Like I'd want to kind of chop this down and get it lower again and let it come back. But see the seed heads on the top? I leave that for the wild birds. So I'm leaving all this right now. This will be one of the last gardens I come through. And I'm just letting them do their thing because this is such an important food source for the birds that are around here because there's not a whole lot. Then I've got geraniums, I've got walking onions, I've got milkweed in there, I've got red vein sorrel. So that looks really pretty the way it is, though I will kind of dress it up with some other vegetable plants in there later, letting the geraniums do their thing. I'll probably get some hummingbird lunch in here because that's a kufia plant that the hummingbirds actually really like. And then I'll redo the table. I haven't done that yet. And I'll make sure this palm tree never leaves its pot. It's in a double pot and it can't leave because if it does, Gary will be very mad at me because he hates palm trees because it's a lot of work to trim. Let's get down here. He wanted me to compost it. I thought, no, I like it. More geranium. See, this is a vining type. So this type, it's like a vine. It's an ivy. It just takes off, does its own thing, and it will leave. Now this one's more of a bush. Aren't they beautiful? And I've got two colors here. I've got like a salmon color and a pink color. And I have so many plans for this. So even though this should be trimmed back, it's going to be trimmed because I'm going to spot them into a lot of other containers that I'm doing. It can even be spotted in and grow with vegetables. It's not that aggressive, and it doesn't seem to hurt most vegetables, though I would prefer to keep it in its own pot, but keep it nearby. Isn't that pretty? See the contrast in colors? It's amazing all the colors they have. And then again, another viney one that would take off and leave. See how it grows long? It's more of a vine, a trailer, and this one's bush. Again, this one's more purple, and this one's the pink one. Isn't that cool? Oh, look at this. I'm afraid to open it. Oh, she did. A friend told me they dropped me off eggs out front, and I hadn't even looked yet. Emu eggs! No, not to hatch, but to do something with. And I used to, and I think I will again. Here is my ginger and turmeric table, and I'm still going through it slowly. All is looking good. So when I've been dumping it, all I'm doing is taking out what I'm going to eat. This one's a little soft, but this is the mother plant. All of it underneath will be fine. And then I've got ginger here. This is beautiful. Look at more ginger on the top there. So I am getting to it. So when I have like a few moments, I grab some of them, dump them, take out what I want to eat, put back now what I, don't want to eat and I want to grow. And then I find kind of a dryish place. It doesn't matter if it gets a little bit wet, but it doesn't want to be soggy, wet, and cold, or it will rot. Let's go over here. How beautiful. Yesterday it rained unexpectedly. I don't know if it'll rain today. It says partly cloudy, partly sunny. How beautiful. Look at that. It's nice and clear. You can see all the way down. All right, let's go through the bird garden. Like I said, I have been putting all my time mainly on the deck because I want to be able to propagate there. I want to be able to share time with you there. And I want to be able to maneuver around it and know that the pots have been all redone. In other words, if they were dead, the plants, they were taken out and they were composted. Oh, this is coming back. That's good. This is sow thistle, something chewed it, but I think I have a zinnia in there. More geraniums through there, and then I've got some hibiscus. Something chewed on this one. I was going to move it, but we got new growth, so we'll see. So this will give me a place I can sit down and propagate, and you can see what I'm doing because I want to do a lot on the free. Things are so expensive. I went to buy olive oil the other day, and this is no joke. I used to get this olive oil for $4, and I just had to pay almost $10. And we're only talking a couple months ago. So I am seeing even canned goods. A lot of you go to Dollar Tree and you think, well, it's $1.25 there. But you can go to other stores and it's only 75 cents. So make sure you shop around. Pineapple sage, is that not cool? I should propagate some of that. Walking onions, see what I'm saying? I put a lot of geraniums around. Geraniums have a scent that critters don't eat it. So if hopefully they're just kind of moseying by, and if they smell the geranium, in theory, they might just keep on going. Because if they smelled something else they wanted to eat, they would go in there. So I'm trying to spot them around. Plus they look pretty. And there's no work. Garlic chives, aren't they gorgeous? I just stick a little one in there. I can always yank them out. They're easy to remove if you don't want them, the geraniums. Chocolate mint, another red vein sorrel, more chocolate mint, a mushroom plant. And then I've got a geranium down there. And look, I repotted this. I use the upside down planter as a base. So it's now off the ground. Isn't that cool? And then I had this pot. My brother gave me that a while back and it's been sitting. And I sat it up so the hummingbirds can come and feed and be up higher. And I trimmed this back a little bit. It looks like it could use a little more trimming. Then I'm trying to propagate my blanket flower. Hopefully it will work. I'll tell you, I took a cutting a week ago, and it's difficult because all the cuttings pretty much have flowers on them, and you usually want something that doesn't, but it's still hanging in there, so we'll see what happens. Oh, I love this geranium. bought that one a while ago. I need to propagate this big time. I've got this piece hanging off to the side. Should propagate that. Isn't that gorgeous? Geez, the colors that you can get in them. Now, of course, the Kufias, they're the hummingbirds' favorite. They will feed on this all day, and I have thousands of flowers all over the place that are Kufia. They'll also feed on the emu bush. See the flower? Anytime you see like a trumpet shape like that, it's perfect for them. And then the salvias. That's like their favorite flowers. They get nectar out of that. They actually don't get nectar out of geraniums. They may find little insects around and different things because, you know, spiders and something might be on it, and they'll feed on that, but there's no nectar. The nectar is coming from your salvias, your kufias. That's where they get their nectar. Well, this is the sweet pea bush that Gary brought me home. I've seen hummingbirds feed on that too. Isn't that pretty little flower? Gorgeous, gorgeous. How there's just the geraniums. Let's walk over here. Look at that. Look at the flower patterns. Just gorgeous. And they just take care of themselves. You probably saw me put that tiered one there. I put the flower pots together in the back to give it a little lift so you can, when you look at the fountain, you can see the pink flowers. Didn't have to do anything. Just take some pieces, shove it in there in the soil and keep it watered. And it is doing great. There's a couple different geraniums in there. And then, of course, my pride and joy, which I think I should make a salad tonight. Look at this. I already harvested all that. I think you saw me. It's already grown back. And then I've got this. I've got dill. I want to keep my dill someplace separate. So I should take the dill out, get some bigger ones and keep the dill in there. And then I can go in there anytime I want dill. Because I will tell you, a lot of things eat my dill. So that's been going really good. But this is just amazing. I want to set another table up here. So I'm thinking of two. This one is like a 2 by 4 foot table. It's an old one that I had here, and I covered it with tulle. By doing that, I've had no snails or nothing try to get up here. They don't like crawling on it, so keep that in mind. That's a good tip. But this is doing really good. And this flag, just because the sun sometimes on a hotter day would beat on it, this gives this a little more shade as the sun's going down. Still need to work on clean up a lot of this. What else is going on here? See what I've done? That's why we need to work on free plants. Sometimes there's something you want so bad and you think it's too much money. If you can get one plant and make tons of them, you've won. And that's great. All these plants are all of them, all back there. There's even another one back there. It's all from one plant. Just pieces. I keep propagating and it grows so fast. You know, I haven't propagated this one. That's another one the hummingbirds like. And this one is taking over. We got the sun out again. So I should get that. I don't remember what that is. There might be a plant stake in there. I don't see it. Let's see. Come on. Look at that. Isn't that a pretty little red flower? See, there's another one there. See, they're all different. There's one there. There's a couple of them in there. I think there's 3 hummingbirds lunch in there, the Kufia plant. And then there in the back, because I don't want to go back there or deal with anything, geraniums. I'm just doing geraniums among my tree collard. Now, a lot of you have been concerned. You know I use my tree collard for compost tea. Let me make this very clear. We'll do a whole video on it. It doesn't have to be tree collard. The next best thing is collard. Though there's other things you can use too, just grow some collard. Here's another plant Gary brought home. Look at that. He got that on sale. See, anytime you see it like that, you know that's going to be full of nectar. It's a sign that either moths or hummingbirds have to reach down inside, get the nectar, and then as they're feeding, they're pollinating the flower. So that's another good one. And then this one, the Mexican sage. Look at this, all brand new. Look at, there's a new one. Look, 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 a brand new one. I trimmed this thing hard all the way down, and look at it, it's coming back. Isn't that beautiful? Free plant. Gary saw a landscaper working, and he stopped, and they gave him a chunk. He got it for his yard. He gave me a piece, and look at that. I need to get more growing. The only thing is it gets so big, I can't see anything in the garden, but it is beautiful. Again, another geranium. Cuttings. See, there's a cutting there. And that might be the original. I'm not sure. There's another one I'm starting of the Hummingbirds lunch. Oh, this is funny. So this bucket has no hole. It's got mud in it. And when I did the trimmings from that, and I thought, well, What am I going to do with all the Mexican sage? I'm going to compost it. I stuck it in here. And I don't know, but look how good they're looking. It's very swampy. Maybe they'll make it. And if they make it, that's fine. I'll transplant it around here somewhere and it will do good. This needs a good cleaning up. I got a lot of different brassicas and the leaves are going to get really skinny because they're all going to seed. That's what they do. The plants put all their energy out into producing seed to reproduce. And during that time, your big, beautiful leaves get skinny because all the energy is going to that. But again, I'm leaving this for the birds. So I'm going to just let that go. What else is behind me? Nothing really, just the same old, same old. I'm still, like I said, working. Oh, here's another one. My seedlings, marigolds, some zinnias in there. I left it here. Did it get too wet? No, there was some rain, but it didn't really get really wet in there. So anyways, this protects my seedlings so the birds won't get it. And then I'll take the paper cups. I'll pop them around the yard and have more marigolds out here. I've got a ton of them on the deck. Again, another place I've been propagating. Look at this. Is this not beautiful? There's this really dark magenta. What is this one? A pink? Got to get a lot of this out. Because a lot of times your weeds, you know, they're taking energy from your plant. I'll do that later. This is just another cutting. Celery. Let's see. I don't need any more. Let's take a look. I'm trying to pull it out. See? Can you see that leaf? All my celery on the property is red, except for the one I found the other day. And how many do I have here? Oh, I've got 2 of these. So I've got 1 pot here and 1 pot here, and I'm growing these. They're so easy to propagate. Once you start and you get the knack of it and you find out the secret of doing it, oh my gosh, you'll be propagating and making free plants. You'll have so many you won't know what to do with them. Oh, some squirrels or something got in here and chewed a lot of stuff up. I did not tool it, I know, but you know, it's making a comeback. So for whatever was here and chewing, that's bird on the top. I'm just going to let it go until I get in here because this corner I'm going to change around. Got to get let me get out here, the trough set up. I got to get the cage out because the cage is going to go down there in the bird garden. You know, the other part where I feed all the birds. You saw that because we feed them every day. They get seed morning, afternoon, and early evening before the sun goes down. And the place is covered in birds. Just covered. Isn't this gorgeous? It's in my way. But it is too beautiful right now to cut, so I'm walking around it. This is tree colored, but notice it's going all over the place. It's not as majestic and straight like some of the others. And that's the thing with collard. If you go back to my old videos, 7, 8 years ago, this whole area was a field of collard. And I was in love with my collard because the rabbits were eating it. My dog at the time was eating a little bit. And I was making so much compost tea out of it. I just loved it. So get some collard growing. We'll talk about that too. Oh, I'm going to break my poor plant. Look at this. So I planted this here, you know, to keep my papayas covered. And it might be working. I mean, the main one's doing really good. But keep in mind, it's sad. They don't last forever. A lot of them only go for 3 to 5 years. So this is much older. So we'll see what happens. See, and you know I propagate under here too. Got places. Look at this. Got my purple. This is my Russian red, actually. Purple. Here's, no, actually, no. This is purple tree colored. Probably was this plant that I saw was dying back. I'm not sure what happened, but I got a bunch of cuttings off of it. And then this is a purple one. Oh, I should get this on the deck. This is the Russian red curly kale, and it's doing really good. There's another one. So deep purple. So I should get some on the deck. And then, look, walking onions. I took a piece of the kufia, the Hummingbirds lunch, and it's growing and they're happy. You want to see more on propagating, just tell me. Put in the notes. I want to know more how to propagate, and we will do that. I've got turmeric in the gray tote I have to get out, and then this is all chocolate mint. And my moringa's making a comeback. We're pretty much done. We've gone in a circle. Like I said, I've been doing, let's close the gate, other things. Oh, the bottle brush. It's getting so many flowers on it. This was a seedling, talk about free plants, that Gary found growing somewhere, and he brought it here and we watered it. And look how beautiful it is, a free plant. You know what Gary's doing? He's spotting the whole place with nests now. I don't know if you can see it, but he's got nests everywhere because of the species of birds we've got. We now have a pair of the white eyes, the swinhoes here, and they've been hanging around constantly. We love them. So he's trying to keep a lot of the birds. And of course, you know, around here. The other thing is the spice finches, they've been here and they're going to have babies soon. So he wants them to nest here. Normally they go in different areas that have more grassland and grass seeds, but they've been hanging around. You probably can't see up there, but we've got nasturtiums, the whole top there. And Gary's also been moving some of the flowers around. You know, we've made a circle. I haven't done anything in the rainbow garden, kind of letting some of the stuff just do its thing because I'm not ready to come here yet. Like I said, I could just clean this all out and plant in watermelon and cucumbers and tomatoes and everything. And if it's too early and peppers, they're just going to fizzle out. They're not going to do anything. But plant them at the right time. Maybe for us more in May, they will take off. And then they'll be growing well into November. I did plant this. And I bought this at Home Depot. You saw me buy it. It's a 100s. Technically, I should take the tomatoes off. I'm just going to leave it. There's my rock thing. I put a rock there. So I've got walking onions. It's all layered in this pot. Then I've got another purple kale back there. It's the curly Russian red purple kale there. And so I did get that the other day. I want to tear apart this because it's not going to grow like this. And this is the strawberry tower I made. I mean, it's trying. But I'll tell you, if I can find the time, just come out here and take it all apart, put everything back, separate the strawberries that are good in there, because I was going to buy new strawberries, but when I went and looked, I didn't realize the ones I bought were one plant for $3, which was a good price, because I'm seeing sometimes some of them for $6, but I'm going to go ahead and maybe separate those unless I find a good deal before I do it. And then that's it. All this will be taken out. A lot of the geraniums will be moved because these are full plants that have now rooted in these buckets, so I can find another place for them. I'm debating on this if I'm going to leave this for the butterflies, which I might, because I could drop this down if there were a lot of caterpillars in here. Otherwise, the birds will come in and eat them all. Or am I going to tear it apart and do vegetables? So I have pepinos growing in here. Oh, speaking of pepinos, look at that. 2 of them right here. So this has got a lot of pepinos, and I'll see what happens. Again, I haven't gotten in here. Let me back up. And once I do, I'll decide on what I'm going to do here. More pepinos, more red vein sorrel. Like I said, the milkweed constantly is just spreading around. You know, I might have green celery in here. Maybe, because I did have a celery growing here. I'll have to check that out. And so I'm kind of deciding on what I'm going to do. And then again, more of the kufia, which is the hummingbird's lunch, another one that's been planted by me. You know what? Let's walk over here real quick. The pizza garden has been doing good all winter. This is unbelievable. This is making a super comeback on its own. It survived our winter completely. Normally the basil dies back and then the sage is coming back, more basil down there. I've got 1, 2, 3 basil plants, one there. They're all doing great. The rosemary, they're fine here. And then I've got oregano coming back. It just needs to be cleaned up. Take all the old stuff out carefully and then just let it go. And then I don't know if this time will make it. It might. It's still green, so we'll see how that goes. The peppers, just I'll refresh that up a little bit. This is a geranium. Oh, look, it's got a flower. Oh, this one has beautiful purple flowers. I picked up a piece 2 years ago, I think it was, and I put it in the pot when I came home. I found it in the street, kind of. And I've got cuttings off of this. And look how big of a plant it is. It's growing all over. I'm going to do more propagating off of that. While it's flowering, it doesn't seem to hurt it, and it keeps going. Same thing here. I need to get in here. I need to get all my potatoes out. This stuff is all full of potatoes. Oh, there go the flowers. The strongest will survive. I better get some of the small ones out. I've got potatoes in all these. And I want to get them replanted before they start growing again, because I want to get them out, eat the ones I want, and they'll probably be small, and then get them going again. I want to grow a lot of potatoes. Here is another squash, and this, I can take this off for a minute. There's the carrots and mustard. And then I put a zinnia there too. This is nothing. This is just a place I water. So it constantly, let me move this here, leaches out and helps feed this plant. This one's doing really good. It's getting close. Oh, Okay, there was another seed in there. I couldn't find it, and now we know it's growing. I may move that. I'll see. Because I don't want two of them growing on top of each other, the squash, because you don't want, the zucchinis will fight. I don't want to do that. This, no, no, no. That's a tree. We don't want a tree growing in there. But look at that. More stuff here to get out. And just put that in here and compost it. I should have composted the tree. But look at that. I moved the mustard. The mustard's doing good. The carrots are doing good. And I do need to make a dome top because this plant really needs something taller. So we'll get to that in a few moments. Not a few moments. Maybe in the next day or two because it's going to have to be quick. Nothing here. This looks like celery. Oh, this is the hybrid that Gary loves. It's a celery that crossed with parsley, and it's a very interesting taste. It tastes like celery. It also tastes like parsley. This plant's pretty much done. This one grew all winter, and I made meat the other day, and I had one big zucchini squash hybrid left, and I put it. Now I have a male flower? Son of a gun. I always have females, and it's the first male I've seen in a long time. There's no female flowers right now. So that's been the problem. All winter, it's the only plant growing, and none of them had any flowers on it. So I had to just try to find the male and try to hold the flower and pollinate whatever fruit. And I ended up with quite a few fruit, but I could have had tons more had I had some male flowers to pollinate. But anyways, that one's done. It's just a hybrid. It was a zucchini that was saved, and a lot of the seeds, they won't grow true. They might grow into something you can eat, but they don't grow true. Haven't gotten into there again, and as you can see, the top's been changed. I wanted more sunlight in there. So now we've got shade cloth that Gary got, a special shade cloth. There's a tree that broke back there. But all in all that's good, and we'll take a peek. Look at this. I've got to do something with this because that poor tomato plant is in something like a shoebox, and it's growing tomatoes, which is fine. Look at all the tomatoes, but there's no place for the roots to grow. So I'm going to have to get it out. It's still growing tomatoes. Look at that. And I haven't done anything extra in here. This went to seed, but it's not going to do anything because I didn't let the bees get in to pollinate it. I'm going to get all the leaves off of this and probably compost this and get more lettuce in here. And then I've got lettuce growing in a milk carton. I've got my seeds that are taking off there. You get millions of seeds once you start growing lettuce. And you put some of it outside for the pollinators to get and just crumble it in. And then you got all the lettuce you want. Isn't this beautiful? There's parsley. You know, this is more of a kind of a flat leaf. The one I've got on my deck is curly. That's beautiful. There's a south thistle. I'll get out of there. This is the mushroom plant. And this is just tree colored cuttings. Let's just put it in there. Look how beautiful it looks. Some composting back there when I need to. And then this is, this is the one. Oh, again, that might be the celery. This might be the one Gary likes. It tastes like kind of a celery parsley cross. More lettuce in an ice cream container and a soap container. The numbers are 5. They're perfect to grow in. Remember, 1, 2, 4, and 5 is perfect. And there's the box. Look how big that one is. Look how big that is. You know, what took a chump out? And I could have bumped into it. Look at that milk carton. Isn't that something? But this, if I don't do something with it, it's going to die back because it's just ridiculous. How tall it is. I'm going to break it by going, I am going to break it. It's getting stuck on me. Okay, maybe I will find a home for it because let me get out of here. I've got to get it. It's grabbing me. Don't go, don't go. I don't know what will happen when I pull it out. It could go into shock, but we'll see. Anyways, that's it for today. It's not that exciting, I don't think. Maybe it is to you, but it looks the same to me. But I'm really happy with what we grew. Let me tell you something. It sure saves on groceries because no matter what, I have had vegetables all year long and they keep producing. Look at this. That's pepinos. You can cut that up and put it in stir fry. You can use it when it's green. If you let it turn yellow, it'll get bigger and you'll have the purple stripes and then it will turn yellow. Then it's sweet like a melon. So you eat it either way. It's in the potato family. No, I'm sorry. It's in the tomato family. I guess the same family. There's more growing. There's the purple flowers coming through. I did have a squirrel jump in here. So I draped the tool all the way around. See, it goes all the way in the back. Just draped it right now and it worked. He left. And then I've got a purple tree colored cutting. It was a little piece I threw in there. And that's it. The birds love to come drink out of that. So that is it for today. Isn't that something? We're in spring. But we really have to wait another month, and then I'll be really going crazy with the cucumbers and start thinking about when I can get watermelon out. They need their warm nights, and it's still in the 40s, is nowhere near warm enough for these plants. And I'm not going to knock myself out putting plants out that are going to struggle. And you don't want to do that either. But there's certain plants you can do now. You can grow peppers right now. All your brassicas you can start now, because it doesn't set them back. If they're in the house, they get a little leggy. They will take off when you put them out. Your watermelon will get set back to the point it may not grow. There's a lot of cucumbers would not grow. So there's a lot of plants you can't start early in the house. You'll put them outside, they'll struggle and just fizzle out, and you'll end up with nothing. But start your brassicas in the house, start your peppers, and you will be good to go when it's time to put it outside. So with that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye, everybody. Okay, now I gotta paint that dog kennel and tool it. It has to be tooled if I want lettuce to grow really good. Got a little bit of whitefly in there, but you know what? All in all I have to do is wash it, and the lettuce is still perfect to eat. I might experiment and not do the little one and only cover the big one with tool. We'll see.